Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Edward C. Dahl Community Service Award video production. Clee, I'm sorry that I'm unable to join you this evening, but we're at the University of Dayton for our daughter's senior year family weekend. I really enjoyed creating this video for you. As you will soon see, you are very blessed with a beautiful family, amazing friends, and a wonderful life. Congratulations and enjoy.
Clee has always been a type A personality. A go-getter, a fighter.
Clee's one of the few people that I know that could go into politics because he has a clean past.
If Clee tells you he's going to do something, you can count on Clee.
He tries to come across as a tough guy, but he's such a light touch.
He is a giver.
He's somebody you can count on.
He's a great member to our society here in Erie.
He's a perfect clone or role model for the Ed Dahl Award.
Clee's and my relationship goes back years and years, and it's been a relationship built on an affection and admiration for what each of us have done. We both admire each of our projects, our companies.
I'm just glad he didn't decide to go into the magnetic equipment business because he's a fierce competitor, and as anybody in the construction business will tell you.
We actually went to preschool together. So I know a little about this guy, quite a guy. Back in the 70s when he came to Erie, Clee had come out of Stanford, had been working for a big construction company in San Francisco, and he chose to come home. You know, with a E.E. Austin and Son company that his father built, he made a deal with his dad. He said he'd come home if his dad would run the real estate business and he could run the construction business, and he has done that.
I've been a part of numerous organizations, and my favorite, of course, is Erie Zoo. I've been a director there for 30-some years. And during those years, we've had major construction projects and animal acquisitions and fundraisers and so on. And there wasn't a time that Clee Austin did not come to us and say, "What can I do?"
In addition to providing a lot of good family supporting jobs, he's made time to get involved with a lot of the nonprofits, not only being on the board, but led the capital campaigns for places like Second Harvest Food Bank, most recently the Children's Museum.
He is exactly what every nonprofit needs in a leader. He is 110% supportive if he believes in your mission and your organization. He'll share his time, his talents, and mostly his opinions on how things should go, but you know what? It's so appreciated.
We were moving and we had been tenants of his for decades. And so I had it in the back of my head too that I wanted to ask him to be the chair of our capital campaign, but I wasn't quite sure how to navigate that. And so I went into his office and I told him that we were going to be moving. And he was disappointed, and I think he was a little upset. And then I asked him if he could also be the chair of our capital campaign, and he kicked me out of his office and told me that I had a lot of nerve to ask him to do that. I left his office, and he called me later on that day and said he would do it. And I knew he would, because he's just that kind of guy.
What he's creating in Erie is generational philanthropy. He recognizes that philanthropy ages, and you have to get some of the younger generations involved and let them learn from you what you've done.
Clee's been a very generous donor. He's got a history of philanthropy in his family that he's carrying on, and now it's being carried on by the next generation.
He's really created a space for his son Pete to follow in his footsteps.
I'm learning a lot from him in the way he gives over the years, the way he does his community service, which I think he learned from his dad. Just do it because it's the right thing. And he does it very quietly.
Clee's not the type of person that's looking for, his picture in the paper. He's not looking for the publicity. Clee likes to fly underneath under the radar, but there's nobody that's more deserving.
Well, probably the biggest achievement that he's done is he's so stoic. And to be able to go to dialysis 3 times a week, play golf 1 day a week, not even think about it, not even have it interfere with his serious life is amazing.
Clee's life has been filled with challenges, rewards, heartache, many joys, and he has navigated through the ups and downs with persistence, endurance, and Penny at his side.
In October, Clee and I will have been married for 54 years, and not once in those years have we had an argument serious enough to contemplate divorce. Murder? Yes. Divorce? Never. In reality, Clee and I are really a cohesive team. I kind of think of our marriage like vitamins. We supplement each other's daily needs.
He treats people like family, and he cares, and it reflects to all of our co-workers that he cares deeply about them and wants to see them do well.
Clee had been a member of the Cockwood Club for several years, but never was a golf member. After several years, he finally becomes a golf member, and this is like a kid in a candy store. He was so excited.
Many times we play golf together. It can be rather hostile when it comes time to pay off. And you'd think that he would have to file bankruptcy for a $5 bet, but we sometimes work out payment plans. Aside from all of his great attributes, a golf game is a little bit of a different turf, and you have to handle it differently. But at the end of the day, we always pay off one another and we start over the next weekend.
Every once in a while I try to slide in there and play golf with those guys, and I've found that over the years he just can't tolerate that fifth person. And I'm not quite sure why that is, but probably because it interrupts his concentration and his ability to hit the ball straight.
He hates to lose, but he's not bitter. I can attest to that. The last 2 weekends he was my golf partner, and I played horribly and we lost, but he still will go out. We're going to go out this next weekend.
Clee's one of those guys that goes down the middle. But going down the middle, he's always helped a lot of people, so you can't fault him for that.
I remember an ill-fated concert trip to Darien Lake where my car broke down, and by the way, calling Clee Austin at 4 in the morning on a Saturday night with a bunch of your crazy buddies coming home from Darien Lake, it was not the most fun experience, but you knew he'd pick up the phone and he'd show up. That's just the kind of guy he is. Always show up.
No one makes Clee smile quite like his grandkids do. I've seen him laugh and play at the water table, pretend to be a shopper in the grocery store. So while his business reputation is what he's most known for, his role as a grandfather is what I see makes him special.
He just melts when these little grandchildren come into the room. He loves playing with them, being with them, teaching them things, and it's just a wonderful experience to watch.
Clee is an example of a man who is living his life with endurance and resilience. He's playing the cards he's been dealt while still doing his best for all of us.
I think this quotation by Ralph Waldo Emerson sums up Clee's central motivating theme. The purpose of life is not to be happy. It is to be useful, to be honorable, to be compassionate, to have it make some difference that you have lived and lived well.
Quickly. Peekaboo. Yes, do we get any smiling?